We're reading One Amazing Elephant, pages 221 to 243. We will never let go again. Oh, how much I've missed being a mother. I love nuzzling with little Gray. The men here laugh, they take pictures, they rave about miracles and magic. Finally, the men leave, and it is nobody but us, little Gray and Queenie Grace. I can see the love on her face, and her eyes won't leave mine. They shine. We will never let go again. No more bad news. The phone rings, jolting all three of us. I'm hoping for no bad news. No more bad news, please. No bad news tonight. My grandmother's eyebrows lift as she listens. Her cheeks make apples in her face. She holds one hand to her heart. Yes, she says. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe that. Truly and I watch her, mouthing the word. What? My grandmother holds up a finger. Her face shines. How did you know? She asks, then listens with shimmering eyes nodding. Okay, she finally says. Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you so much for letting me know. I look at Trulia. What? She says to Grandma. What happened? Grandma holds up her index finger again. She looks as if she wants to kiss the phone. Thank you, she says. I swear, this is the best news ever. Grandma hangs up. She beams, and her face looks as if it's going to explode with gladness. The suspense is killing us, says my mother. What? I ask. We're dying here. My grandmother just smiles, so big. Her eyes shine full of light, and she does her little dance move with jazz hands. Queenie Grace is just fine, she says. Actually, she's great. They finally got her to move out of the trailer, and you will not believe what happened. Grandma actually bounces with excitement. What? What? My grandmother's eyes brim. When Queenie Grace finally decided to leave the trailer, there was another elephant who came running so fast, Grandma says. Queenie Grace and this elephant obviously knew and loved each other, they say, and they went crazy with joy. They say you can always tell by behavior and the reactions, even if the elephants met many years ago. And there's a certain way that mother elephants act with their young. I catch my breath, and Grandma puts her arm around me. Queenie Grace had a baby, she says, many years ago. The elephant experts think that this other elephant may be that baby. Wow, Trulia says. She runs both hands through her hair. Wow! I don't even know what to say. I'm so thrilled for Queenie Grace and for the one that they think is her baby, because every baby deserves a mom who loves it. So, now what? Asked Julia. Well, Queenie Grace will be staying there with her baby, states Grandma, forever. Nobody will ever separate them again. Oh, I say, I wish I could meet the baby and say goodbye to Queenie Grace. You will, honey, Grandma Violet says. I already thought of that. We'll go see them before your flight home. My heart lifts like wings. I'm so happy I could fly. Queenie Grace and Little Gray are staying together. Little Gray and I are going to stay together. They say that this nice place of elephants is now our home, and that the people who we love will visit a lot. They will visit soon. Little Gray and I stand side by side, touching always, never letting go. We are staying together forever. I can't wait for her to meet my family. Our family. Flying and hugging a lion. It's Sunday, the morning of New Year's Eve, and I have to wait until tomorrow to see Queenie Grace and her baby. I can't wait, I say to Grandma and Trulia. Today is going to go so slow. I can't wait until tomorrow. You know what they say, patience is a virtue. Grandma says, making air quotes. She's frying eggs, wearing her SpongeBob nightshirt. Well, I have an offer from Faith that will help you pass the time, says Trulia. She wants you to come to trapeze school today. She wants to teach you trapeze. Free. She's a better teacher than me, much more patient. Cool. But what if I can't? What if I'm afraid? Oh, you'll be fine, says Trulia with a grin. Just throw your heart over the bar and your body will follow. So here I am, in a majestic red tent all set up for teaching trapeze. Trapeze arts, as Faith says. Faith shimmers in a glittery silver costume, and Henry Jack is here too. Why didn't you come over last night? I ask him. You missed all the TV people. What do you think I am, crazy? Replies Henry Jack. I'm in the public eye enough. I didn't want to be on TV. No way. I laugh, punch him lightly in the arm. Coward, I say. Who's the one afraid of everything? Asks Henry Jack. Not me, I say, as Faith hands me a costume in my size. It's glittery green like Magic Mountain in summer, like Henry Jack's eyes. I'm not afraid, I say, feeling the cool green of the sequin costume. Well, not afraid anymore. So I change into my costume, feeling a little silly in the outfit. You're gorgeous, Lily, Faye says when I come out of the cramped dressing room. Yeah, Henry Jack agrees. You look pretty cool. Like you actually maybe know what you're doing on the trapeze. No clue, I say. That's why we have Faith. First thing we do is called ground school. Faith teaches me all about how to stretch, the importance of listening to her for commands, how and when to tuck my knees. Now, for your safety belt, Faith says, cinching me tight into a harness thing. Ow, I say, it's tight. Believe me, says Faith, you don't want a loose belt when you're dangling up there in space. I look up at the bar, the trapeze, ceiling of the high tent. My heart skitters. Okay, I say, I guess you're right. Faith brings out a piece of wood. This is the same size as the platform up there, she says. You're going to practice with ready and hut. Once you got that down, Pat, you'll practice putting your knees through the low trapeze. Faith points to a trapeze not much higher than me. Don't worry, she says. It gets easier when you're high up. The force of the swing makes it simpler to get your knees through. The next thing you know, you'll be flying. An hour later, Faith still has me practicing climbing the ladder and doing this routine again and again. I know it by heart. Swing out, tuck knees, swing from trapeze. Let go of the bar with my hands, let back with hands out, like waiting to be caught. Grab the bar, take off my knees, keep legs straight behind. Quickly move forward, back, forward, tuck knees, release, fall into the net. The net will always catch you, says Faith. It's all about trust. Later, Faith says I'm ready for catch school. What's that? I ask as Henry Jack grins and pumps his fist. That's where I fly on that trapeze and you fly on that one, Faith explains. Faith points to the bars on either end of the tent, the wire stretched between them. This quivery wire looks way too thin, the bars not strong. My heart thuds. You'll fly, I'll fly, we'll meet in the middle, and you'll let go. You'll just trust me and let go, and I'll catch you. But what if you don't? The world inside the tent spins dizzy. I'll catch you, says silvery Faith with a big smile. But don't forget, there's the net. There's always the net. I climb the ladder, step onto the platform. Breathe. Take a big breath. Breathe again. I reach out and grab the bar. Put my body over the lower bar. I throw my heart over the bar and my body follows, just like Trulia says. Another breath. Glance down at Henry Jack. Faith yells, "Ready? Go!" And so I do. I go. I fly. I let go with my hands and I reach out for Faith. She catches me and we swing, flying high. My stomach is in my head is in the sky, and my heart swoops. I am flying. And as I fly, I catch a glimpse of someone who has come into the tent to watch. It's my mother, her face lit up with pride. You did great, Henry Jack says as we walk back toward Grandma's house after my trapeze lessons. You weren't even scared. I was just a little bit, but I tried to fight it. Henry Jack nods, flipping back his hair. It's all it takes sometimes, he says. George is walking toward us, all jaunty in his blue jeans and beret. Hey, kiddos, he calls. Hey, George, Henry Jack and I answer in unison. We all stop and give one another high fives. Except for George and us, it's more of a low five. What are you guys up to? Oh, just passing time until we go see Queenie Grace and her baby, I say. I learned to fly. Henry Jack's mom gave me trapeze lessons. Fabulous, George says. I'm just heading home to take care of Baldo and give him his medicine. Hey, why don't you guys stop by? Old Bottle loves company, and he especially loves the young'uns. Sure, says Henry Jack while I hesitate. kind of scared of lions, I say. George smiles. Baldo will fix that. He says, I think for a minute. I need to be brave, to push past my fear. And what the heck, I've already learned to fly today. Okay, I say, let's go. And so I'm in George's tiny trailer, petting an enormous lazy lion. Baldo has green and yellow eyes and soft fur, and he moves his head like a gigantic cat as I scratch him behind his ears. He looks hypnotized, so relaxed, and that makes me relax too. He's really sweet, I say as Baldo gazes up at me and presses his huge head to my chest. His fur feels like my favorite winter coat. Of course he's sweet, says George. He's my baby. I didn't know what wild lions could be this tame, I say. If you work with them and give them love, he replies, they will give you love in return. How old is he? Oh, too old. He may not have much longer, George replies, his eyes sad. George reaches out and strokes Baldo's head. Aw, he's so nice. It's not fair, I say. But he's had a great life, George says. He's loved and been loved, and isn't that all any of us could want before we leave this earth behind? Yep, says Henry Jack. My brother was really loved too, and he loved us. I swallow hard. I feel so bad that Henry Jack lost his twin. You get it, kid, said George. Life is short, you know? So you just gotta go for it. Seize the day. Leap for joy. Eat ice cream. Baldo is making this contented growly purr, rubbing his head against me. Want a Baldo hug? George says to me. I didn't even have to think about it. Sure, I say. Stand up. Get ready for the best hug of your life. I pull away from Baldo and stand up. The lion does too. Hug, George says to the lion. Hug Lily. And he does. Baldo the lion jumps up and puts his front paws on my shoulders. I fall back a little from his weight, and George supports me from behind. And then Baldo pulls me into his softest, furriest, best hug ever. It's tight and fluffy, and Baldo is huge, full of power and wildness, but I'm not one bit scared. I hug him back. Queenie Grace's New Year's Eve. I know that this night is New Year's Eve, and I know that some people like to make a big deal. I used to like how Bill went outside at midnight and yelled at the sky, Happy New Year, he'd shout. Make all good things come to us this year. All good things have already come to me. I raise my eyes to the sky, and I send a silent thank you to my Mahout. I do believe that Bill had something to do with this reunion, even though we can no longer see him. Bill the Giant still works his magic. New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, and Grandma has pointy hats and noisemakers and big silly red glasses with the numbers on the of the new year. And we'll do a toast to the brand new year at midnight, Grandma says. She has plastic champagne glasses and sparkling grape juice already set on the kitchen table. Bill used to go outside and yell at the sky. Maybe we'll do that too. Finally, it's midnight. We strap on the cardboard hats and we wear crazy glasses and we blow the noisemakers. Grandma and Trulia and Henry Jack and me, it's our own private little party. May the new year bring better things and many blessings, Grandma says as we all lift our plastic glasses in a toast. Cheers, Trulia says, to good news, to mother-daughter reunions, to elephant-daughter reunions. We clink our plastic glasses and drink the carbonated grape juice. And then, at 5 minutes past midnight, Henry Jack and I go outside. May all good things come to us this year, I shout at the sky, looking up. A few neighbors are doing fireworks, and the sky lights up with color and explosions. Isn't it against the law to do those on your own? I ask. Henry Jack laughs. Yeah, he says, but nobody in Gibtown really cares, obviously. Mary, the bearded lady, is outside, holding a single sparkler. It lights her face, her beard bushy in the glow. Happy New Year's, Mary, Henry Jack calls, and she walks over to where the 2 yards meet. Happy New Year's to you, she says. The sparkler sizzles and then fizzles out, going dark. She places it on the ground. It's hot, she says. Don't touch it. I know, Henry Jack says. My mom and I do these all the time for special celebrations. Well, says Mary, I don't feel like there's too much to celebrate right now, but sometimes you just have to make half an effort. Because what else can you do? Some good news is that Queenie Grace found a baby she had years ago, I say. I guess you've heard. Mary nods. She tries to smile. I heard. It's all over Gibtown, she says. I'm happy for them. They deserve that. We're going to go see them tomorrow, Henry Jack says. The sanctuary wanted us to give it a day for them to get reacquainted and reunite in private. We can't wait to see them, I say. That'll be a great way to start the new year. Mary nods, sighs. Yeah, she says. I don't know how my new year's going to go. With Charlie gone and all, he just up and left after that arrest. Him and Mike both. I've never been alone before, so this is all new to me. Henry, Jack, and I say nothing. The fireworks have stopped. The sky is silent. Sometimes life brings surprises, says Mary. Not all of them good. I step closer to Mary, the bearded lady. Her voice and face seem brave, but her eyes brim with sorrow. I'm sorry, I say. I'm sorry about your husband leaving. Inside, I'm thinking, you're better off without that horrible man, and so are your dogs. But I don't say that. Instead, I just reach over with both arms and embrace Mary. The three little dogs push open the screen door and bound joyfully into the yard. They are not wearing tutus. Mary hugs me back, and I can feel both the appreciation and grief in her large and soft body. I don't know if I'll ever let him come back here, she mumbles, but I'll forgive. I'll have to forgive him, or it'll just eat me up on the inside. I nod. I know all about that. Looking up. We see fireworks in the nighttime, Little Gray and I. The bursts of light and noise symbolize celebration and new beginnings and hope. We both raise our eyes to the sky. Sometimes looking up is the best thing you can do. Room to roam. On Monday morning, the first day of the brand new year, we pile in the car for the drive to the elephant sanctuary. Trulia, Grandma, Henry, Jack, and me. We're all bubbling with excitement, even Trulia. It's a short drive north, just 10 miles, and we can hardly contain our smiles. We sing along with the radio, all of us car dancing, the windows open and blowing our hair. And finally, there it is, looming like Oz. Oh, breathes Grandma Violet when she sees the sign, Room to Roam Elephant Sanctuary. We get out of the car, walking all full of wonder and discovery, like Dorothy and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion. I guess I'm Dorothy. Grandma's the lion, searching for courage to be alone with Grandpa Bill. Henry Jack is the scarecrow, but he already has a great brain behind the wrinkled face. And Trulia, well, she'd be the Tin Man, maybe getting her heart. Finally, we're off to see the elephants, I sing to the tune from the Wizard of Oz movie. The Wonderful Elephants of Us, Queenie Grace and Baby. Grandma and Trulia and Henry Jack play along, and we all skip as if we're on the yellow brick road, heading for that beautiful city on the hill. Except there's no Wicked Witch, no flying monkeys, not anymore. All the fear is gone. This place is so pretty, overflowing with leafy trees, explosions of brilliant flowers, lush green grass. It smells like Florida, but mixed in with a little bit of wild. 2 huge red barns, some rainbow-painted buildings, plenty of room to graze and play. Lots of open land, spreading out as far as my eyes can see, leading to the edge of blue sky. Elephants are everywhere, dotting the horizons with gray. There are a few workers washing elephants, scrubbing them with big brushes and water area that must be the elephant bath. Wow, says Henry Jack. This is like a retirement community for rich people. The best of the best. Maybe they even have their own swimming pools. I bet they love it here, I say. Wonder where they are, Julia says. What if we can't recognize Queenie Grace, I ask. You know, like all the elephants look kind of alike. Oh, well, we'll recognize her all right, Grandma Violet says. And she's definitely know us, Henry Jack adds. She'll probably smell us already. And then, in a rush of pounding gray and swinging ears, there they are. Queenie Grace and her baby, both of them close to the same size, with the same soulful eyes. They stop side by side and meet our gazes, ears flapping in the same rhythm. Queenie Grace is just a little bit smaller than her baby, Grandma Violet says. Just like you and me, Mom, Julia says, and also like Lily and me. The baby's always the tallest in the family, so it seems. Queenie Grace and her baby lock trunks for a minute, and we all laugh and clap. They're hugging, I say. And then Queenie Grace plods straight to me, nuzzling my neck with her trunk. I kiss her on that long, searching, bristled, haired trunk. Who'd have believed I'd ever kiss an elephant? Hi, Queenie Grace, I say. Sorry for getting you in trouble the other night. We shouldn't have tried that running away thing. Yeah, says Henry Jack. I have to admit that was a big mistake. It's all right, my grandmother waves her hand. Let the past be the past. Bygones be bygones. Time to move forward. Plus, the big mistake somehow resulted in this good outcome. You're right, Henry Jack says. This is like the bright side of that night. And mistakes are made to be forgiven and forgotten, Julia says. Lord knows I've made enough of them in my lifetime. Queenie Grace nudges her baby forward as if to introduce her to us. Hi, I say. Nice to meet you. I shake your trunk as if I'm shaking a human hand. I'm Lily. My grandfather was Bill the Giant. He was Queenie Grace's, your mother's owner, her trainer, her mahout, her favorite person in the world. The baby looks at me. Her eyes are so sweet. She lifts her trunk and she brushes it, soft as a smooch across my cheek. And then Queenie Grace kneels on the ground beside me. Is she praying, I ask? No, Grandma Violet says. She wants to give you a ride. I don't even have to think about it. I just scramble up onto Queenie Grace's back, helped by Julia and Henry Jack and Grandma and a small ladder leaning against a fence. I settle it and grasp her skin, squeezing my knees against her. Queenie Grace begins to walk, slow and steady and sure, way around the sanctuary. She goes far. It's like she's giving me a tour, and I'm not one bit afraid. It feels as if this is where I belong, sitting on top of the world, riding Queenie Grace in this peaceful place. Birds chirp, and there are the sounds of elephants. No cars, no traffic, just quiet, and nature, and relaxation. I roll along with the rhythm of her steps. It's so beautiful here, I say. I like your new home. Queenie Grace's ears flap as if she agrees. She walks toward our family, Grandma and Julia and Henry Jack and Baby. Her ears flap with happy flags. I can actually feel the celebration and contentment in her body. It's our own little parade, our own private big top, our own step right up moment. There's no place like home, right? I say to Queenie Grace. I'll be going home soon too. But I wish I were staying longer than tomorrow. I don't want to go. Not yet.